Today I want to come clear of a secret that we kept hidden for a long time, and this is: where do we actually live here in Medellin, Colombia? Welcome to How to Expat. My name is Ahmed. At How to Expat we want to help expats relocate. In this video I'm coming clear with a secret that we kept hidden for quite a while, and this is where we actually live here in Medellin, Colombia. I will talk about why we kept it secret, where do we actually live, and why don't we live in other places that are more common for expats. So first of all, why did we keep where we live hidden? So this is pretty easily, or kept it a secret. This is pretty easy because of privacy concerns. So we never wanted to show where we live for basic privacy concerns. If people know where you live, weird things can happen. I've actually already experienced that, not because of this YouTube channel, but because of other things. And generally, I'm a very privacy concerned person. Especially now that I'm a programmer, a computer programmer, I see a little bit more behind the curtain of the website and internet, and know what can be done if you know somebody's location. So that's why we, from the beginning, never wanted to disclose where we live. Why do we want to disclose it now? We will leave Colombia. You might have already seen it in previous videos. So that's why we are now able to disclose where we live. So a lot of people that follow the channel for a while, they think we live in Laureles. Some other people think that we live in Poblado. So I give you a couple of seconds to think about, what do you think? Do we live in Laureles, Poblado, maybe in Bello, maybe in Envigado, maybe Sabaneta? What do you think? So we actually live in Sabaneta. Sabaneta is technically its own municipality in the south of this Valle Aburrá, so the Aburrá Valley. But it feels very connected to Medellin. So when I'm somewhere outside, I will always say I live in Medellin. So if somebody from Europe asks where I'm from or where we live, I'll say Medellin. So I would never say Sabaneta. At the end of the day, it's just a valley filled with people. Up above is Bello, the Medellin, Envigado, Sabaneta, and some others. So yes, it's at the end of the day feels quite like one thing. Don't forget that we have a video course where you actually can find out all about the different neighborhoods in Medellin, especially for expats. We have a special discount at the moment going because we just refreshed the video course with new content. So make sure to check it out in the link in the description down below. I think it's a great piece of research you can do if you're interested in being an expat here in Colombia, or especially Medellin. So why do we live in Sabaneta? We came to Colombia, to Medellin, and we stayed in El Poblado, which is the normal place where people usually start out when they come to Medellin. But we quickly figured out that this is not for us because we are just not city people at all. Poblado feels very metropolitan, so we knew that we wanted to see another place. We actually moved. At that time we were quite flexible. We just had our 2 suitcases still. We moved from Poblado to La Estrella, which is near to Sabaneta, and there we stayed for 2 weeks. We liked it, but didn't fall in love with it. During the time we traveled around a little bit and then found Sabaneta and pretty much fell in love with it because it's very family oriented. So we don't have kids, but we like to stay in that kind of type of environment. It's very traditional. It has a traditional plaza, the traditional church, in my opinion. The most beautiful plaza and church combination in this valley, Aburrá Valley, where Medellin and everything lies. So that was great. The vibe just is very nice. People are relaxed. It's different to describe. It's just the feeling that we have since the beginning. So what we did after we've been these 2 weeks in La Estrella, which, as I mentioned, is a different part of town, we moved to Sabaneta in a furnished apartment for around 4 months. Then we moved to our first unfurnished apartment here in Colombia in Sabaneta. So we stayed pretty much the whole time since we're in Colombia in Sabaneta. So we moved from that furnished to the unfurnished place. In the unfurnished place, which was smack dab in the middle of Sabaneta, so we saw everything going around in the village or city center, however you want to call it. Which was very interesting. All the parades, everything going, all the drunk people, all the happy families, everything like that. We really got quite a great immersion there. of how life is like here in Colombia. We stayed in that around 2.5 years, something like that, and now we moved out of the Pueblo city center, a little bit outside of the town, where we have a little bit more tranquility, here where we live now since around a year. So I quickly want to mention why we didn't move to Laureles. A lot of you guys, we see that in the comments, thought we live in Laureles or somewhere around there. Laureles is still too much city for us. We just really like this traditional kind of family-oriented life here in Sabaneta. It's hard sometimes for people to figure it out, so you just have to see it to know what I'm talking about. But this is why we did not move to Laureles. It's a little bit more hustle and bustle there, a little bit more city life than what we have here in Sabaneta. Yes, just quickly want to mention, just because it's the right place for us doesn't mean it's the right place for you. As you might know, when we had our expat company, where we actually helped on the ground expats relocate, we showed people different neighborhoods. And then when they asked us where we live, we said Sabaneta, and they said, oh, it's most probably also the best place for us. But what we actually found with a couple of, a little bit over 100 people that we had, that just around 4 or 5 actually liked Sabaneta. The rest was more interested in Laureles or El Poblado actually. And a lot of people don't get Sabaneta, which I can pretty understand. It's quite a dense municipality or village, so it's packed with people. It's packed with cars. It's just a very dense place. The houses are very close together. Laureles and El Poblado are different. That's the thing we also don't like about Sabaneta, but a thing that we got used to after a while. So a lot of people come here and they just see it's very gray. They don't have really vegetation like in Laureles or El Poblado, and they just don't get the place. And just other people like us, we just come here and we just fall in love with the vibe of the place. That's why we stayed in Sabaneta and not in other places. Yes, I think that's pretty much it, what I wanted to mention in this video, why we live in Sabaneta. Don't forget, if you want to find out what might be your best neighborhood, again, the link to the video course, the newly updated video course, is in the description down below with a special discount just for a while now. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. Other than that, if you want to see more videos like that, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.